Hello, welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. For those of you who are new, welcome to the channel. I am Nicole. For those of you returning, welcome back as always. This is going to be a video for Scorpio for mid-month of October. So excited to do this. I'm a Scorpio. I'm always like, oh, what's going on, right? Good stuff. So this will be for your sun, your moon, your rising, and Venus cross watchers, if that is your thing. So welcome as well. So guys, let's just jump right on in here. I am available for personal readings on a limited basis. That information can be found in the description box below, as well as the about section of the page. And let's see what else. If you've not subscribed to the channel, please do so. It helps circulate the channel. You're going to get notifications, so it helps you and it helps me out as well. And all of your love and support is greatly appreciated. We're going to get a couple cards from the Sacred Geometry deck. Some overall with the Wisdom of the House of Night. And then we will we'll grab some energy oracles, I think. And we'll go from there, right? All right, Spirit. Scorpio, I got some nervous energy with you guys. What's going on? All right. Let's see. For Scorpio, please, Spirit. Realization and Gaia. Realization and Gaia. All right, for Scorpio, please, Spirit. Mid-October. Oh, well, that was... All right, so I guess you guys... Let's see. I'm going to take it. And what's interesting to me... Root chakra. Okay. Perception. It's all about perception, always. I'm surprised, like, there's 5 cards, but I don't know why. Like, I just like, okay, we're going to take these. So I'm going to go through these a little quickly because there's so many. I don't want to keep this video super long. Integration. The frequency of integration supports our embrace of every aspect of ourselves, allowing what we perceive as positive and what we perceive as negative to harmonize and balance symphony of life. My cat is on it this morning. I just did Cancer's bonus reading and he was zipping and zooming and he's feeling it. He must be on the catnip today. He's pretty wired for sound this morning. Anyhow, I'm going to perceive as positive. Yeah, so, you know, we have a perception card underneath here, right there. And it's just also talking about how we perceive what is positive and what is negative. So I want to say, make sure that you're staying in a positive, uplifting energy. We always are going to call in where we're sitting and where our thoughts are going. So make sure that you're staying on a positive note. 23, dynamic. The frequency of dynamics supports our ability to harmonize between layers and aspects of different origin and frequencies. It helps us to put together a reality that is made up of many different elements, both familiar and completely new, with ease, grace, and great joy. To me, guys, you have a lot of little things going on around you, and it's trying to find a way to balance all of those things into what is your reality. You may be trying to multitask a lot right now, taking on a lot of different things. You may feel like you're in this nervous energy is kind of like, oh, you know, what do I got to take care of next? What's the next thing that I've got to do? So constantly, Spirit is saying actually being on guard too, of like how you're going to handle each situation as it comes in. 18 cosmic flowers. We've got 3, 5, 8, 3, and 11, or it breaks down to a 2. The frequency of cosmic flower activates our remembrance of the place we call home, the core from which we pour magnificent out into the world. For some of you, I feel like you might be some light workers out there as well, empaths, things like that. Trying to integrate what home feels like for you and where you're pouring it back out into the world. So it's kind of like giving and taking, receiving as well, you know, giving and receiving. But I also feel like you're trying to even remind yourself right now what feels good to you at this time. Divine feminine energy. That's the 3. The frequency of divine feminine supports our receptive, nurturing, and soft side, allowing it to express itself openly and helping us to connect our intrinsic understanding of our connections to all of creation. You know, Scorpio, you are the water sign, right? You, Cancer, and Pisces. And to me, you know, I think about Scorpio, I think of the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups. They're very, you know, very much in their emotional energy, and they also are big nurturers, big givers, more often than they are takers, and they enjoy providing that feel-good feeling to other people. So I feel like you may be connecting to people right now that maybe need you in some way, that are seeking some guidance from you, where you feel like you can nurture and aid them in their journey as well. And then remembrance. The frequency of remembrance supports our memory of everything that we have gone through as a soul in a body, providing us with valuable information and tools to flow gracefully with and in this life. And to me, you know, Scorpios, we tend to pick the craziest life paths. Like, we really get into some kind of shit sometimes, but it feels like for us, we tend to learn lessons the hard way, and sometimes a little faster. We tend to be more so old souls that come through, and through that, you know, we gain insight and wisdom in a different manner, I think, than most signs, and not knocking any other sign by any means, but it's just what we're able to do and how we transform that energy and use those lessons learned, you know, especially when we're a higher elevated state, is very helpful to the world around us. So let's see what comes up. Some overall energy for Scorpio, please. I don't know what Indian reservations may mean to some of you. That may be a specific message for somebody. So I don't know, you may be dealing with something to that effect. Hello. Is that confirmation? Thank you. And if you guys hear the tumbling in the background, my dryer is also in go mode along with the cat this morning. So everybody's wound up this Monday. All right, for Scorpio, please. We got the warrior, fighting spirit. The moon, the intuition. We've got the cat there. And I'm gonna grab one more for you guys, if spirit will allow it. Spirit is also asking you to settle your energy. So you may need to meditate. You may need to slow down the mind, slow down some energy that's around you at this time as well. Listening, make sure, I'm gonna emphasize this. Make sure you are listening to yourself. Make sure that you're listening to intuition. Make sure that you've got open ears to listening to other people as well at this time. The warrior, to me, is you're finding some balance. For some of you, I got kind of chills. You may have somebody coming in that is going to show you some type of balancing energy. They may be showing you some strength, some acknowledgement of things around you. They may be matching your energy, match for match, basically. The moon is following our intuition, maybe not being able to see something, but with this particular card, the moon to me highlights everything that's underneath it. So, you know, make sure that you're paying attention. Do not give up the fight, Spirit is saying. So whatever you're dealing with at this time, keep yourself very grounded. It's going to be about how you're handling yourself. This, to me, I feel, again, you guys have energy kind of all over the place right now. Make sure that you're trusting what is happening around you. You know, paying attention, listening to details, taking in the information and knowledge that you need to at this time. I do feel like either you're watching somebody or somebody's watching you at this time too. Like, there's this glare of this cat's eyes that are catching my attention, and it's like you may be sitting back and thoroughly observing a situation around you right now. Past energy, we've got the 5 of water and renewal. Maybe you have taken some losses in the past that maybe things didn't quite come out the way that you expected them to in a new beginning, and that's okay. Sometimes, you know, we got to let go of that expectation and just trust that what is working out for us just as it needs to at this time. You may be in a space if it's time to reassess and reevaluate. Got the 8 of the 8 of Swords and the 9 of Cups there as well. These cards, I have a hard time shuffling those. So, you know, it's like, how do I get to my fulfillment? How do I get to all things that are glittery and gold? And I will say, give it time. 7 of Cups in the present energy. What else, Spirit? What else? Future, present energy for Scorpio. I feel like a lot of you are reaching to the future. As I'm shuffling the cards, I keep hearing future, 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 future. So slow down your energy at this time as well. you're going to have to learn to be patient. Learning to be patient. I don't feel like you think you can see everything right now. Give it time. Give it time. Give it time. For Scorpio. You guys are in some stubborn energy right now too. Some stubborn energy. It's like, no, I don't want to slow down. I want to get to the future energy is kind of how it's coming across to me. Like, I know we can be stubborn. It's what we do. I'm as guilty as the next Scorpio. 7 of Cups, the Ace of Cups, and the 10 of Swords. May not be happy with how something's turning out right now. But in the same time, it's funny because, you know, the 10s are closure. They're the end, but they're also a new beginning. And then you've got that Ace of Cups. And I feel like you don't know where this Ace is coming from. So future conditions now, Scorpio, since you've patiently waited. Future conditions for Scorpio, please, Spirit. Future conditions for Scorpio. I'm going to take it. 9 of Air, 9 of Swords. Guys, heading. We got too many there. Let me take a look at these though. Knight of Swords, Knight of Cups, King of Earth. Guys, and your swords and your water cards today. For Scorpio, please, Spirit. For Scorpio, one more card for future energies, please. 8 of Cups, walking away. 8 of Earth. I'm going to say this. I like the fact that these are primarily, pretty much all but one, are minor arcanas. You know, when we get into the major arcanas, those are fated, destined events. When we're in this energy of these minor arcanas, these can change up pretty quickly from one moment to the next. So this headspace, emotional space of lack that you're in, walking away from things right now, it's temporary. But you're 2 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, 8 of Pentacles. You're working on what is going to be happiness for you in the long run, and I don't think that's a bad thing at all. But you've got to stay out of that mental idea of why things are so difficult, how they can be so difficult. Because remember, our thoughts are going to become our feelings, you know, via law of attraction. So if you're in a positive vibration, as I talked about with, I think it was integration and dynamic, if you're in a positive frequency, you're going to attract that positive. If you're in a negative frequency, you're going to attract that negative. So be mindful of what you're thinking about at this time. Be mindful where you're putting your energy at this time as well. That 9 of Swords and that 8 of Cups also tells me that you may be walking away from that feeling as well in the near future. So that's a good thing. Getting out of your headspace, opening up to the possibilities of something else as well. So let's see. Let's do some clarifying. I'm going to clarify that 8 of Pentacles. Things are going to pay off. You know, you may be learning some new trades, learning some new skills, reassessing where it is you need to put your time, energy, and attention to at this time. You got the 2 of Wands and the 7 of Pentacles. Like, you're building your way up. You're getting there. I really feel like you're putting in a full-fledged effort at this time. But sometimes we have to go back and learn something new. Maybe critiquing the things that we already do or already know. So there we go. You may also be reviewing a new start. So let's see here. You got the 2 of Cups, the Ace of Wands, the Father of Pentacles, looking for some strong stability there. Inspired action to get to that strong stability. There's a desire of something new, desiring. I feel like this is also about partnership. I feel like this reading is going to go about 1,000 different directions because I feel like your energy is focused in various ways to things that are needing of you. And you've got that 4 of Cups underneath that, kind of protecting your emotional space. You also may be, again, like I said earlier, some stubborn energy there. You're going to have to lighten up, loosen up, relax a little bit. If you're looking for this 2 of Cups kind of energy and taking action towards it, I do feel like for some of you, you may have somebody in your sights at this time as well. So, you know, give it time. You may have already kind of started something up. There may be a awareness of a situation around you, or what, you know, a person or a situation that you may be in a space of trying to reconnect, or I feel like getting to know better, because, you know, the Eight of Pentacles is about learning something new. So you may be getting in touch with somebody, learning more about them, just getting to know somebody as well. But I also feel like you're trying to bring a balance to what you're nurturing, and they have to be stable and you have to be stable, is how this is coming across to me. But you also can't do this in a stubborn energy. And like I said, like, patience, I think here is going to be the key. But I feel like when you don't see this action sometimes, that you get caught in this Four of Cups, only seeing it one way, getting bored with situations as well. So slow down, take time, make sure you're working on you. Let's clarify that Five of Cups for you guys. 2 cards, please. Spirit, 2 cards. You guys are stubborn. Make sure you're addressing, don't like how those came out either. Make sure you're addressing, geez Louise, any past pain or situations that were disappointing to you. You don't want to sit in those, but you need to acknowledge those as well. So, you know, take heed to that. Thank you. All right, 9 of Wands in reverse, 8 of Wands. Yeah, I feel like, and I just said, like, patience. Whatever this situation is or was that you were feeling disappointed about at a given point in time, you weren't willing to wait. You weren't willing to be patient with this. It was like, can we please speed things up here? Maybe disappointed in the timeline of events that are, or were, I just want to go, they are or were, not maybe moving along. Like, and I'm hearing you kind of being like, it doesn't have to be that hard. No, it doesn't have to be that hard, but there's a reason. Divine timing is working out for our better benefit. So, and I feel like for some of you, you already are aware of this. You have a full knowledge and understanding. And if you're in, you know, more in a spiritual path, you know that divine timing is always at play. So let divine timing do what it needs to do for you, and stop trying to control a situation. Let's clarify this renewal. We'll take them. So you got the Sun, the High Priestess, and the Four of Pentacles. I just feel like you keep hanging on. You keep holding on to something that is, there's a hope. To me, this is about having hope, trying to bring it together, trying to make it all flow in this, with this renewal. Even though you're extremely impatient, I do feel like that you're very hopeful and trusting your intuition as well at the same time. That High Priestess, you do have a deeper understanding to things. Like, there's this back and forth energy of impatience, and then I know better, and impatience, I know better, impatience, I know better. And you really have to just let things flow. I do feel with that Four of Pentacles, again, the need to try to control how things are unfolding. And Spirit is asking you to just let things go as they need to, because you're going to be happier with the outcome in the long run. And you may be pleasantly surprised, is also what Spirit is saying, that you may be pleasantly surprised how things turn out in ways that I don't think you could think of, essentially. 7 of Water. Yeah, so all these choices, it's like it's easier to shut down. But I also feel like you're learning something from this situation. I think for a lot of you, you've done some prior healing. And through this healing, though, you may be seeing all these different avenues that could take shape for you as well. And some of it may pertain to love. Knowing that you're not going to repeat cycles anymore, that 10 of Swords there, you know, you're becoming aware, in that 6 of Cups, yeah, you're becoming aware of what the past was like, and it entailed a lot of conflict. So if you had past relationships, past situations, maybe nobody ever getting on the same page, always being in a sense of competition, knowing that it's time to walk away from that devil energy, you know, no more obsessing, no more, you know, just letting, you know, you got the Judgment card there, letting things come out as they need to for you, rather than you trying to hang on and control a situation. But you are aware. I really do feel like you are aware, and you've learned a lot from knowing, like, learning how to dance with the devil is basically how this is coming across to me. So you know that the past doesn't work, and I don't feel like you're returning to the past, like you're not going back to past situations, past relationships, past people. You know that they're not serving of your highest good. So it's learning to cut those things off and say no more. And I was going to just pull 2 cards for the past, present, and the future energies, but those 3 came out, and that's 7 of Cups, the Ace of Cups, and the 10 of Air. Like, we're no longer renewing the past. We're no longer doing it over again anymore. Like, you've learned the lessons you've needed to learn. You know that if it didn't work the first time, it's not going to work the second time around, and you're also not going back to those patterns of behavior that were self-sabotaging. So it's rather to sit, that Hermit, he gains insight and wisdom. His lantern lights his way. He's no longer trusting, you know, the past is dark, and he leaves the past behind him. He's starting off on a new venture with that light taking him forward as well, with that 11. And 11 is divine protected energy as well. It's a master number. So to me, you've learned from these past situations of emotional strife, knowing that, you know, yes, there's always possibilities of how things could turn out, but also being cognizant of what doesn't work and going, no more. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing the competition. I'm not doing the conflict. It's either going to flow or it's not going to flow. But also, do not get so stubborn in that space that you're not willing to give other things opportunity as well for growth. Son of Swords, taking quick action with the Empress. To me, you have I'm going to go back to the fact that I feel like you have somebody particularly in mind, and you may be trying to keep yourself in check at this time as well, wanting to start something new, wanting to rush in. Again, Spirit saying patience. You know, you are in this Empress energy. To me, Scorpio, this is totally you. You're sensual, you're beautiful, you're you know, the giver of new life, fertile energy as well. You've made a lot of growth through these understandings of not going back to past situations. So, you know, don't be so quick to act. I feel like for some of you, you've learned these lessons rather quickly, and that has upgraded you basically to the Emperor status. An Ace of Cups, you know you're worthy and deserving of something more than what you've had in the past, but you have to be patient to let it come through for you in divine timing. This 10 of Swords energy, let's do some clarifying there. 10 of Swords, please. 10 of Swords about for Scorpio. 10 of Swords. I also feel like you're leading the way. That 7 of Cups energy again. Scorpio, please. And the 3 of Cups. I want to say get out, do something new. I do feel like maybe you may be a little bit worn down. Yeah, that 5 of Cups. All these cups. It's time to do things a little differently. As you close these other cycles out in the past, making those realizations from the past, that 7 of Cups is asking you to see it from both sides. That, you know, where there's dark, there's light. I think you're learning that. I think that you're working with some like-minded individuals, or just have friends that are like-minded individuals, or they're coming around, filling your cup in a different way. You may be learning from somebody else at this time as well. I feel like for some of you may be getting spiritual counseling, actually, is how this is coming through to me as well. I've got this 2 birds, and the one seems to be kind of overseeing the other 2 with this card, reminding them of, you know, the joyous beauty that there can be, you know, can exist if they allow it to happen. So you may be getting some spiritual insight and wisdom, knowing what cups to let go of. What I always find interesting about this 7 of Cups in the Wild Unknown Tarot is the 6 cups are up, the 1 cup is down, and then you've got the 6 of Cups sitting back here. And again, to me, that's kind of like dumping out the past is how I see it. Dumping out the things that are dark, the things that are no longer serving you. Also, do not let that cup that you're dumped out put out the sun either, is kind of how I'm seeing that too, which is a little different. Allow warmth to fill you up rather than, you know, the cold or the darkness that sits from the past as well. And then you've got the 5 of Cups underneath that. You know, do not hang on to your sorrows and disappointments of the past. You've got that 5 of Cups twice. You got that 7 of Cups twice. They are disappointing energies overall. You know, it's woe is me. Make sure you're not sitting in victim mode or woe is me at this time either. But I do feel like, you know, maybe some of you are reaching out for some spiritual aid. Some of you just as simple as praying, speaking to your guides, speaking to yourself. 9 of Air, or 9 of Swords. We've got the Temperance card. And we've got Father of Swords. Like you, I do believe that you're emotionally balancing out yourself, definitely. Temperance to me is such a beautiful card. It is the perfect mix of water and fire energy there to me, the way this card is depicted. Father of Swords, logical, clear-headed, very intelligent, very aware, and it's like you're sitting in this 9 of Swords energy, and to me it's overthinking, you know, how much do I give? What do I give? Underneath that, we've got the Mother of Pentacles, or the Mother of, or the Queen of Pentacles is what I was getting at. So with that, you may be focused and worried a little bit too about how you're building your foundations for the future. So I feel like you're maybe taking a really hard look at that, trying to keep yourself grounded at this time too. Protecting what is yours as you move forward. A little bit of confusion. I'm actually going to grab one more card. Can we clarify that one more time? Spirit, Temperance, Father of Swords. Clarify those two. What is that? The Fool. Yeah. How you start anew. And Scorpio, you know, we go through these transformations, I feel like sometimes almost daily, just depends on what's going on, where you are in a space of starting anew. And I feel like you're trying to take forward emotional balance. I feel like you're trying to take forward that logic. But you also have to let go of the worry. And I feel like the worry sometimes may be what holds you back, worrying that things, even though you know you don't want to repeat certain past situations, that you tend to take that with you. So you want to make sure that you're leaving that emotional baggage behind. You know, you get on a plane, you don't take everything from home. You can't, there's no space to take everything from home. You take what you need and you move on. And the Fool is asking you to take, you know, he takes very little with him. He's got his knapsack or whatever. And with this bird, he's going off with just, you know, 1 foot forward, and he's got nothing but his you know, immature wings basically to take him and guide him. And you've got that 8 of Pentacles underneath there. You know, you've got a lot of things that you've pulled together to take forward with you into this new reality that you're stepping into. Allow that to be your guide. Allow, you know, take what you have, what you've gained, what you know, and move forward with that. And you don't need to take a lot with you. The less baggage you take with you, the more space you're creating for new and beautiful things to come in for you. And I want to go, you know this. So why drag that forward? You are trying to step into this from a very balanced space. And I think that is a good thing. That is a good thing. But you've just got to release that excess worry that you're carrying along. So 8 of Cups, please, Spirit. 8 of Cups. 8 of Cups, let's clarify the 8 of Cups. Judgment. Thank you. Cutting things off. You've got the 5 of Swords and the Judgment card here, 8 of Cups. To me, this particular deck, the 5 of Swords, you know, typically it's seen as lying, cheating, stealing. Sometimes I get that, sometimes I don't. But to me, there's like one more. I feel like you always maybe feel like there's one more thing that you need to let go of, and I agree. Like there are things from the past again that I feel like you're working through, creating a space of peace for yourself. And if it means cutting things out and off from your energetic space, then that's what you're doing. If you've been dealing with somebody who's been lying, cheating, stealing, just being a shithead about everything, understand that you're going to get things when you're coming from a more compassionate place. And I forget, I don't know if that was a daily reading or another sign that came up for, but you are looking for new growth. You're looking for that spiritual aspect right now. I feel like you're trying to really integrate that higher learning, that higher knowledge. So through that learning that you're doing right now, you're also being guided and asked to cut off the things that are no longer serving you. And I think that whether it's people, situations, whatever, I do believe that you're doing that, and it's going to release you into some very balanced peace. And I feel like for some of you, you may have already cut off some situations going, this has been in the back of my mind for some time, and now the best thing I can do is let it go. And it's coming, you know, you're making choices of what to let go of and who to keep. And I think it's a good place. And I feel like emotionally, that Page of Cups, like you're starting to open up, you're starting to kind of explore again, make some, I'm going to say genuine offers to yourself for a change, which is really lovely to be in as well. But you're also being very protective of yourself right now. And I won't say that that's a bad thing, but again, in order to let love in, we have to give love and be open to receive that. I think Scorpio, sometimes because we have a hard time trusting to begin with, then we go through all these life lessons. It makes it even harder to trust people and situations. And, you know, we kind of, again, we get up in our heads. We tend to be overthinkers from time to time as well. So it's like, in order to be able to receive, though, we also have to drop our guard. We need to be a little bit vulnerable to the idea that things can happen. And there's, you know, underneath that wisdom of the Night Oracle, we've got 2 cards of movement. The High Priestess of air, but then we also, and that's that thinking, right? The High Priestess of fire, which is action, and then the actual movement card, which is an 11, and that's 6 and 5 are 11. So you're divinely protected through what it is that you're doing right now as well. You are being guided, I do believe. And again, talking about the spiritual journey, I do feel like this is part, you're learning something, and as you're learning and we're closing out the past of those cycles and not returning to those types of situations, being aware of that, understanding that you are the Empress. You have grown into something beyond where you've been, and now it's time to move forward. But also in moving forward, you've got to let go of the past worry, because if not, it's going to block you moving forward in the future, and you don't want that to hinder your growth, right? So I like it though, Scorpio. Like, just get out of your head. Get out of it, get out of it, get out of it. We overthink. I do it all the time. I totally get it, but we also know that it doesn't serve us. So there we go. Mind, body, and soul. And get one more, Spirit, since we had the 3. One more, please. All right, so unraveling codependency, and that to me is that present energy of knowing, you know, not to go back to the past. You know, we become dependent on situations and people because that feeling is familiar to us, familiar to us. So only I have to feel good about my choices. You know, we know in a spiritual aspect, we can't take everybody with us. You know, they serve a purpose, a season, a reason, whatever, however you want to depict it. And we know that it's not good for us. And part of that, you know, and Scorpio is good for closing those things out. Like, right, we handle that transition, I think, better than most in a lot of ways. Like, when we get to that point, sometimes it takes Scorpio a long time to get there, but when they're done, they're done. So be aware that it may take some time, but once you've gotten yourself to this space of, I'm not going back to the past, I'm not picking up past lovers, I'm not picking up past bullshit, I'm not picking up past situations, I'm not going to do the same thing over again. So you may be very easily able to adapt to, you know, whether it's a new job, a new person, a new whatever, a new place to go. You do it very fluently, but I think it takes you some time to get there. And I think that for some of you, you're finally getting there, that you're recognizing those patterns and behaviors of what could be codependent relationships and assessing that this is not healthy for you anymore. Not that it ever was, but you had to get to that space on your own, or that it wasn't going to work anymore for you. Encountering conflict, I don't choose sides, I take a stand. Yeah, very much. And there's that Empress card right below that. you know, you're standing in your own power, not needing to have the approval of other people around you, knowing that what you have to do is for your highest good. And if they don't believe in that, it's kind of like, just sit back and watch me then. You know, Scorpio is hell for going, tell me no, watch me do it. But you stand in your power there. And I think a lot of people sometimes don't understand how you do it. You just get it done. And then activating the third eye. I am willing to see beyond my beliefs, ideas, and conclusions. You know, I think that it's really interesting with Scorpio as well, because I feel like as you evolve, and not just Scorpio, because I will say other signs as well, when you get to that place where you're accepting of responsibility, you're being accountable for your actions, and making amends where you have done things that were not in your best interest. And those were those lessons. Those were those tough lessons that you had to learn. So understanding that just because you have a given belief doesn't mean there's not a different way. Just because you have an idea doesn't mean there isn't other options. And drawing conclusions doesn't mean that it can't be seen in a different light. And I think you're very much coming into an understanding that you're okay with sitting with, if you want to call them faults or mistakes or whatever, and knowing that you can transform this, and it's probably going to give you a different outlook moving forward. So Scorpio, I really like this reading for you. You just got to stay out of your headspace. And I'm going to read this one to you. My angels respond when I am open and authentic about how I feel. So get in touch with your feelings, most definitely. Like I said, open up that cup of love, give that out to the world, because what you're giving, you're going to receive. What you're not giving, you're not going to get, you know, if that's what you want, you're not going to get it back. So if it's love or whatever it might be, open up to that so that you can call those things back into you that make you feel good. So, all right, Scorpio, there's your mid-October. Open up, open up, open up. Be that cosmic flower, bloom. All right, guys, if you found this video resonates for you, please hit that like button and subscribe as well. Again, it helps circulate the channel and you guys get notifications, so make sure you hit the bell so that you're getting those. And guys, I hope you have a wonderful mid-month. Again, as I put this other half of videos out for the Zodiacs, feel free to like that video, view the video, because the more and more we get out there, you guys, I'm going to do another bonus reading for the second half of the signs. So hopefully it's yours, right? Of course. All right, guys, have a wonderful mid-October, and I will see you all again soon. I'm sending you all the love and light. Take care.